sure recording is going.
Well, I can see it on the phone, so
Valid.
we're good.
Alright, well, probably first introductions, given context of everything in this. I probably should say, ignoring that. Well, I probably should make this relatively simple and say, all things considered, welcome to the Void. I am your gracious host, the Darkened King, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit more challenging, I would say. Those that wish to, of course, there we go. So today's round of interesting things to do, for those first tuning in, playing an old favorite of mine. Playing the Ocarina of Time on the 64. But for a little added challenge, I wanted to make it interesting. So it is, as I've said multiple times in preparation for this, I'm doing this with 3 hearts. I have 1 life. Granted, I wanted to do this without buying things, but the only way to do this is with a glitch. So I'm buying 1 thing, and then I'm not buying anything else. I'm not doing any upgrades. Let's just jump into it. You'll get the picture later on.
Those of you who didn't understand, don't worry. I didn't follow half of that either.
But let's just go ahead and start this off with brand new layout. And of course, to an homage to a favorite streamer of mine, we'll just go ahead and do Slave Slot 3. So, I said save slot. No one clip that. Make sure to match. Nope, I can't spell apparently. There we go.
English is hard.
Alright, let's just go ahead and jump right in. In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule. Long have I served as the guardian spirit. I'm known as the Great Deku Tree, or the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy.
That ever familiar urge to punch him in the face is back.
For those just getting the idea of what's going on, she has seen this playthrough, I want to say upwards of 20 times that we've done this game together.
But not only on the emulator, but also in the D&D world. So I have actually gotten to ram an axe into this guy's face.
So many different things. Living forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as the barrier deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go! Find our young friend and guide him to me. Do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly! The fate of the forest, nay, the world depends upon thee. Alright, we're going off into the great blue yonder. Those of you that are watching at the same time, imagine you being in this first-person perspective. Who among you would get super nauseous and seasick? Not seasick, airsick would be more appropriate here.
Me? If I were actually flying like Navi is, my gosh.
So many different things.
And I thought Indiana Jones was bad. This would be worse.
So many different context points to that one. to sleep.
Oh, little Link is a sleepy boy.
I mean, again, what would you guys say if you were in the same position he is? It's like the instance of just, yeah, I want to sleep, I want to forget, I don't want to be here. And then you get roped into this as well. Alright, we are off.
Off to the races?
Off to apparently to save the world. So many different things to deal with.
So many missions, so little time. Only one world to save.
For those of you watching as well, while this is going off at the same time, if you are familiar with the story, then kudos to you. Those who are not familiar, it's the case of, imagine 1,000 different ways of, you have to save the world. Okay, I have to do this, not do this, not do that, and then hope and pray that everything works out. Now I completely understand why heroes always have the hardest of hurdles. Alright, enough gab. We gotta get ourselves some money. Now the plan here is, this will be probably the only purchase I end up making the entire run. So, again, like I said in the earlier intro, there's only one way that I know of, at least to get what we need. So, for one, we have to get a sword. Now, I will wait to do the specific scene where we get recognized with the sword and shield, those that played. Those that haven't, we'll get a specific piece of dialogue before we get to that instance.
It has been so long since we played this that my mind is blanking on all of the proper scenes in the proper order.
There's always an order for everything.
I think last time we played the Chaos Run on the randomizer.
Yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea for the future streams. We got our first weapon.
Da-da-da-dum.
And those of you that are watching as well, that have done the audience, that have done the randomizer variant of these games, know how hard it is when you're early on in these runs and you need a weapon, and all you have are sticks. Hopefully audio is coming through as well for both the game and for the stream, so someone can call that out in the chat. That'd be probably a good idea.
Well, sticks have their uses. They're nice to whack things with.
Also, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Alright, so we also need to pick up a couple other things. Also, heads up, chat, we're going to be probably, we're going to have a couple instances where we have a random roving cat coming through and on camera, so beware for that. We have a lovely little black void floof cat running around. So if she comes on camera, so be aware of that. I mean, it's also fun to have pets on camera every now and then.
Is my chair up too high for you, Mama? Oh. Come on.
Alright, free chests. Let's see what we got. I need one more. Alright, so we have enough for the shield.
Are you coming up or not, Mama?
And also as a heads up as well, we're going to get bombarded with a monotonous amount of tutorials in the first area, so be prepared for that for those that haven't played.
I guess she's not joining us.
Oh, she'll make up her mind. Gonna catch that on camera.
I know that sound. I don't like that sound. I'll go deal with it.
If the mic caught that, I apologize. Our cat's been battling a little bit of food poisoning here. So, hopefully she feels better soon. Just be mindful of the curtains.
Change in lighting warning so I can see.
Apologize for the overlay flare. Alright, enough gab. We got things to do. Alright, hopefully I can keep this as long as I can. But given mandates of things, that's not going to be easy. Alright, we move on. Alright, first off, Mr. No Fairy, indeed. I have good business with the Great Deku Tree, thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Do you not see the floating fairy around me? And I've been summoned, thank you very much. Yeah, maybe it might not be funny to you, but it's funny to us. Yeah, neither do you, so what do you have to say about it? Sarcastic man that he is. Alright, sir. Ignore the model not being there. Alright, how about now? How about these apples? If you hear the chirping, our young cat is hopefully feeling better now that she's hacked up something else. Yeah, a wimp's a wimp, especially when he's fully kitted out, so we'll see what happens. How you might accept us, it's a matter of time. It's always a matter of time. Given we're gonna need these, let's grab a few of them. Stick. Whoops. Yes. Well, you got out of your seat. You should know this by now.
I gotta send her little map to the wash. Light warning.
Alright, I want to stack up on stock up. Again, given the fact that we're doing this whole thing without upgrading ammo capacity or carrying capacity, which includes Deku sticks, we have only 10. So hopefully that works out in the benefit of everyone's case. And, you know, we're not having to grind later on, but rules will be rules. Alright, we're here. We've made it. And I can also continue to read the dialogue boxes, or I can let it just play out. It'll be up to you guys. Yeah, lots of nightmares. We just got up from one, maybe an hour ago, or less than that. I can imagine those of us as kids playing this game were going, yeah, no, I don't want to, but we must press on. We are to be the heroes, at least. No point in wasting courage now. Always be molding of guidance. All right. Those of you watching, whether on stream or vice versa, if you're watching this as a pod, who as a kid wanted to actually go into these kinds of trees just to see what was inside? Could I have the first chest? The dungeon map. Always a benefit. This is your idea to be up on stream, so...
No, I'm not happy about the fact that Mama objected.
Those of you that know what cats are like know exactly how that it works.
So her laundromat is in the wash.
Well, at least she's getting that cleaned out. That's probably been one needed to be cleaned for who knows how long.
Yeah. Where'd she go anyway? She was in my chair last I saw her.
She's behind the curtain, probably. Mini tutorial.
Many a tutorial.
Gonna save that for later. Be a good shortcut going back. Neighbor's doing something upstairs. The Fairy's thing shot.
Pew. What?
No comment.
You're the one that married me.
Yes, I am. Thank you for noticing. Alright. Normally when you do this, you're supposed to fall through there, cut across, and then use the fairy slingshot to cover the gap. Of course, getting the ladder back up is always a good idea. But we'll make use of the platform, jump across. But now we have a more dangerous part of the details to do here.
Oh. Up she comes.
You're gonna sneak peek, chat.
Yay! There's the cat.
And there she goes.
Are you going for the window?
Up and up and up we go.
Well, that is an angle.
Alright. To the next point. Now, normally in here I would do the multitude of grabbing everything. But because of what this challenge is, I have to skip all of the collectibles.
No collectibles, only money.
Well, then again, it's the same thing of, yeah, I'm gonna get money, but I'm not gonna spend it, because there's gonna be no shops.
Your wallet's gonna be loaded.
Alright. One thing I'm grateful for in this context, I can face my fear of heights. In real life, not the case.
Ugh.
Geronimo!
And
Spoosh.
right through the spider web. Whoa.
This one over here has the intense arachnophobia.
Only fantasy spiders, though. It's so weird.
Hey, to each their own. I'm sure many of you guys are probably the same way. Fantasy spiders, especially in a lot of the older games, or even the modern ones, are pretty nasty. Both in the sense of terrifying and disgusting looking. Which I guess in some context are probably one and the same.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's the Skulltulas here, the spider hiding the Dark Ruby in Baldur's Gate 3, or the spiders in Hollow Nest. I hate them all.
By hollowness, she means deep nest, chat.
Ah!
Alright, here we need an essential piece of the puzzle prior to going to the final area. 23 is number 1. As a kid, I could never remember this code. I had to ask for help quite a few times, or just do trial and error, probably half a dozen times.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're playing without the help of the internet.
Well, again, my first time playing this was when I was, what, 5?
Also valid.
So this is 20 plus years ago. Man, I sound old.
If you sound old, I feel old. Hearing you say that.
Well, to be fair, you said it, I didn't.
Yeah.
But more to the point. Chat, you're gonna get quite a bit of a trill and cameo.
Come here.
Hope you don't mind her playing the visual perspective of the camera today. Hope you don't mind that.
Oh, mama. You attention hog.
Of course she is.
Oh. I think she just wanted pets.
Or she's in a park on the side of the
Yeah.
setup, which she has all free range to do. Or, you know, be up in my face.
Methinks she wants in your lap?
Well, again, I can't do that. I have the controller in there. So many action icons. To just pull this block. Hey, how's it going, boss? Good to see you. Hopefully you're jumping in a little bit later, but you're still here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Come here, mama.
Be mindful of the cameo of the cat coming around the corner.
Come on. Get out of his face. Come on.
Pets, man.
Okay,
Now she's...
that's not what I wanted.
You know you're not helping the case here.
Alright, bye, Mama.
And if you're just tuning in for the first time as well, let's just say I didn't really have a good way to come up with a name for this challenge, but original Ocarina of Time, 3 hearts, 1 life, among a myriad of other challenging aspects, so can't pick up any collectibles, no heart containers, no heart pieces, bare bones upgrades, so no increased ammo capacity for anything. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We'll see how it goes.
Dude, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, why do you think I'm doing this now? Besides, early on is not the worst. It's always late
It's fighting
game.
Ganon that's gonna be the challenge, dude.
Yeah, but how many minutes is that later?
In any case, at least he looks good in green.
Yeah, those of you that have seen any kind of randomizer gameplay knows that when you mix in multiple color styles and color palettes and basically say, yeah, make sure the Nintendo 64 can pull any kind of coloration combo. You can sometimes end up with the best combinations of colors, or some that look like they should be non-existent.
Beige and yellow are not this man's colors.
Not even a mustard yellow.
No. Purple, on the other hand, we've seen time and again, and it's done really well on him.
And we've seen various shades of that, too.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, also the point of the randomizers to see what all you can do with all that you have. Sometimes you get good rolls, and you can get really good weapons really early on. Sometimes you get the worst ones, and you have to go half the game without your sword or any kind of a weapon.
Yeah, how many times have we gone without the Kokiri sword on the randomizer?
We've gone to
of the
endgame
dungeons?
half the time, and it's not been
Yeah.
fun.
Mama, are you gonna get in his lap? She wants in your lap.
If she can get there. There we go. Gonna have to do a reach around for this controller.
Hi, baby.
The purring.
Know your positioning.
There we go.
Alright, bye, Mama. She may
Also-
also be sniffing it out because it knew.
Yeah. Alright, the first boss. Again, we may beat the first boss, but who knows how this is gonna go.
Why is the first boss always one I hate the most with Zelda games? Design-wise, at least.
Well, to be fair, all things considered, it could be worse. But then again, those that have played this series will know this is a reoccurring boss that comes in all various shapes and forms.
It looks like a twisted alien hand, and that's the only reason I don't freak out anymore.
Alright. Hopefully the auto's coming in nice. One can only hope.
One can indeed only hope.
Ow. I took a point of damage after diving on this thing.
Well, this monster has absolutely no health.
Well, again, what would you expect from the first boss of the game? It's not meant to have a massive amount of health. Now, again, this is the 3-heart challenge. My instinct is to pick all of these up, but I cannot.
Wave bye-bye!
Oh, the urge to get everything is going to be so much harder now. I've also only ever done this challenge one time, and that was just the 3 hearts. I have not done this with all the other add-ons. But it's here, it's done, and then we get more lore. Thou hast fairly demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry my wishes. Now, I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen? And so we shall take a squat and want to listen to a story. Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. We get our first lore.
Lore bomb!
By the way, if she ends up peaking the audio, it's her fault, not mine.
I am loud. Make no mistake, I am loud. Alright, I'm gonna need that blanket.
She gets real cold, chat, real easily.
And no cat to run over behind me.
Hopefully not. And we'll let this cutscene just play out on its own. Much of the origin and things to move on. Those of you that like wearable blankets, you'll enjoy what she's wearing. Wearable strawberry with a hood attached to it.
It is one of my absolute favorite things for the winter, man.
Hey, if it works, it works. Nothing wrong with that. As long as it doesn't drag on anything on the way in.
No.
Alright, half an hour in. Hopefully we're getting good audio and good video quality. Also, to be fair for everyone in chat, as well as those watching this as a VOD, first time streaming since I was in college, so I do apologize in advance if I'm a little more rusty at this.
And I've not been on a stream since my roommate in college graduated, so.
We're both still relatively new at this.
Yeah. Two halves of a whole adrenaline junkie we were.
And still are in some cases.
Yeah. I'm cold and I know it's not because the window's open because it's closed.
Well, to be fair, it's a learning curve for everyone. But no one's perfect. No one has to be perfect as well.
It's a steeper learning curve with social anxiety.
Alright. With all that being said, we have the first Sacred Gemstone.
One gemstone down. Plenty more to go.
Yeah. Get ready, chat. We're in for the long haul.
Bless you.
And even though we did save the man, or Elder
The
Tree,
tree.
curse had taken too much of a hold on him. But as was his duty. And away we go.
This part always hits hard, man.
Well, again, as a kid, imagine what you would say when you were that old.
Dude, if I had played this as a kid, I would have started bawling.
And, of course, Mr. High and Mighty Mr. Hey, you got up on my cloud. Of course, the man blames us for this context.
He's not quite as bad as Hades.
But unless we move on. But number 4. Well, yeah, we have an important thing to do.
We must go save the world, Saria. Of course we're going.
Yeah, we're definitely different. Alright, remember the rules, chat. You'll have to call me out on it when I think about ideas, but I cannot buy anything. Cannot buy anything, cannot participate in the mini games, I cannot get any upgrades, so call me out if I start thinking about it. Granted, I know that's a catch-22 scenario. You can't say what I'm thinking. You get my point, though.
I will be the one egging him on to go.
Yeah, and that's why it's going to be even harder to stay out of it.
Look, I just like the Bombchu bowling alley.
Various other reasons for that. Now we run off into the great yonder. Mr. Gabora Kapora himself. Yes, it is my first time. Or time to start my adventure.
This music is so soothing.
It is a soothing music. It's when it's used in the most obscure places that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Although this isn't the worst music in the game.
So again, this was always a gotcha trick. They put no at the first, so it... You do that by accident, by speeding through all the dialogue, and then you have to completely restart and go through the whole sequence again. But I am smarter than the owl, I hope. But now we have to do this. Because the technique is to go backwards, given the fact that you actually go faster backwards than you do forwards.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weird concept. I don't know why.
That is so weird. Why would they do that? You can't see a dang thing.
No, but you can... Whoops! Get ready to hear a lot of that, chat.
That was a big ol' snort, too.
My question is, can I get in before nightfall? Key events. Okay.
Tonight. You got in.
To the marketplace. Again, those of you who played, you would also know the whole thing of getting a shield here. However, this will not stop me from getting all various other sub-items. Granted, I can't get upgraded items, but the point remains.
So out to the castle we go.
Another round of... Anybody else thought this looked real weird first time?
Is an owl, they can turn their head practically all the way around like that.
See, the thing is, it goes around in a horizontal, not a vertical up and down.
He's a fantasy owl.
The point remains, it still was weird.
Weird, I will grant you, but... fantasy physics. They don't make sense.
Do they ever sometimes?
Mm-mm.
Alright, moving on. Now for this to work, I have to then now leave. And come back. Oh yeah, we'll see how good he is about being responsible. Some would say not very.
I always forget this is where you're supposed to get the weird egg.
Given how many times we've done this in the other variants of the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
stay tuned for that, chat. That'll be something later to do down the
Eventually.
road. But knowing us, and we are effectively underage of any kind of castle guard, we have to do the first and probably only stealth mission. Well, one of two stealth areas.
I would say underage my butt, but even Sylvia was older than he was.
She was, what, 15?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you imagine telling, you know, an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, just say, hey, you have to go save the world now.
And you have to sneak into the castle of the capital to do it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Give a give a 10-year-old tools of the trade to go save the world, and then tell him, yeah, go break into the castle. That's a great idea.
10-year-olds are loud and uncoordinated, man. Most of the time.
Depends on the context. So there's the milk, and then
He's snoring real good.
man is also sleep talking.
Yay, at least you're not sleepwalking.
Those of you that sleepwalk, what is that like? I've never had that experience, but I can't imagine it's good. I've heard it can be dangerous in many cases, so I hope those that do sleepwalk are doing well and hopefully not getting themselves hurt. Alright, now that we've done all the prep work for this, let's make this interesting.
I don't else think he'd have a Real nice southern drawl. We actually had a voice actor.
Again, a southern farmer kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Well, again, he lives on a ranch, so it's unsurprising.
Yeah, nice southern drawl.
A southern belle's father. Yeah, sir.
Alright, run along home.
And by running, chat, he means quite literally sprint like it matters.
With the cartoon smoke cloud and everything.
Those of you all know what happens when a man goes out for milk. I'll leave that joke where it is.
That doesn't even deserve a rim shot.
No.
That's awful.
Alright, into the castle. Alright, let's be stealthy. But we're just gonna run around when the guards aren't looking.
And hope for a nat 20.
You'll also get plenty of D&D jokes here on this stream, so be prepared for that. But at the same time, we also understand that this is all for joking and entertainment purposes. I'm never going to be serious in this context. Excuse me. It's bound to happen at least once. Oof.
Oh, and it's half a heart to get chucked out.
I think I had half a heart earlier. Because remember, I did jump on Goba the first time.
Valid.
Alright, here we go again. Round 2. Same row supplies before.
There is no rolling a 10 or a 15 on your dice. It's a nat 1 or a nat 20 here.
Yep, exactly. Everything is left to chance. Chance and poor decisions. Not the man has moved. Let's go on. The temptation just to run in and get all those rupees.
You can go smash pots later.
I'm not going to because there's going to be no point, remember?
You can still go smash the pots for the frustration vent.
No, I'll vent my frustration by doing that on enemies later on.
Oh, that's
This is both poor depth perception and poor hearing.
Yeah.
Or
all of the guards are rolling like nat 1s on their perceptions.
Or given the context with Link, he's just that lightweight that he makes no noise.
Yeah, is this a nat 1 perception roll or a nat 20 stealth check? You decide.
Chat, make a decision as well. Those that are watching. What do you think Link would be better off as? A rogue or a fighter?
Ooh.
Both are be appropriate here, given his expertise. Also ignore the glitchy textures. That tends to always be the case.
Is it level... We have one in the chat saying he'd be better as a rogue.
That's valid.
Is it level 9 rogue that gets the base 10 on every roll?
I think that's 11 or 10 with reliable talent.
Oh, hold on.
The princess's mouth is not textured in properly.
Has someone just gagged her?
Don't even go there.
Okay, now we're getting into Colt with that texture missing.
Oh,
my
the
gosh.
broken textures. I promise this works sometimes.
It's never glitched that badly for us. Or if it has, I've never been paying attention.
Probably not.
I have a rogue around here somewhere.
Man, these textures are broken. Chat, this normally never happens. I promise you.
There's a glitch in the Matrix. Okay, it's 11th level reliable talent.
So yeah, probably think about it this way. It'd probably be best if, because again, with all of his
I'd go 11
abilities,
rogue, 9 fighter.
that definitely seems like a fitting combination. Knowing his prowess, he'd probably be, what was it, Battle Master or Champion? No, probably Eldritch Knight, thinking about it now. Given his prowess of Enchanted. Either that or Arcane Archer. He's got multiple he could go with. He could even be Hybrid Wizard, to be fair.
Yeah. I'm not a wizard builder, though. Not me. I like to be up close and wielding an axe. Whap, 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 whap. Or I'm hiding in the back, sneak shotting.
Again, as part of the rogue ensemble.
Yeah. Why is it only glitching Zelda?
Again, these textures.
Like, poor Zelda.
Yes, we understand. We have to make sure we don't get the Triforce in the wrong hands. It's just Zelda. Why is it always this case? This has never happened in every run I've played of this game, chat. I don't know what's going on. Did anyone ever notice this man's, like, dark yellow eyes?
Is he jaundiced?
Not gonna comment on that.
Look, yellow eyes.
Yeah, swears allegiance.
Yeah, swear allegiance my butt.
Family friendly.
He is not.
Azazel? Hold on, there we go. Don't know why that was blocked.
I'm pretty sure it's the name of a demon.
Ah. Yeah. That shouldn't have been flagged anyways. Oh, that makes sense. Supernatural.
Oh, that would be why the name only slightly rings a bell.
Those of you that watch the TV series would know where that reference is coming from. And where those dark evil eyes will make sense.
Yeah, I'm not one of them.
It is a good show. I remember watching quite a few episodes of it.
I like my mystery with a side of realism, thank you. And even some of the really good crime shows that I watch, some of their religious episodes hit a little too close to home, thank you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get the Triforce while we're, you know, a kid. I'm sure there'll be no foul play with this.
Not at all. Who would say that?
Alright, we have to go save the world. And now we have written proof that we have eligibility to do this. But then again, even with the princess's approval, we may not get past, you know, the front gates of anything.
All I can think of now that I see Impa's eyes is Asterion.
Make a note for a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough for those that are interested. We can use that as a follower goal at some point in the future.
We played quite a bit over the New Year's Eve weekend. As well as Epic Mickey.
Alright, our first song. Also, sidebar chat. Those of you that know how to play an ocarina, kudos to you. I tried to learn how to do this when I was out in Texas for a couple of years. My mother gifted it to me as a birthday gift. Tried to learn how to play ocarina. I never realized how hard it was. But then again, I can imagine you probably don't all understand how hard any kind of wind instrument or any instrument in general is not easy to learn.
The lung capacity you need for the flute, I swear. Yeah, I always came away from band class with a headache.
You also get headaches easily. Yeah, how are we going to protect this beautiful land?
It seems we must go to the mountains.
Well, not yet. We have a couple things we got to do ahead of time anyways.
We will get to the mountain eventually.
Yeah, those of you that have played this game a couple of times will know that there is quite a checklist of things to do. Go forward a good time slot with everything going on. Alright, still doing well. Everything's still recording. Nothing has dropped so far. It's always a good sign. And hopefully the quality's coming through on you guys. Because I can't tell from my angle, so hopefully it's all working the way it needs to.
And this is the wrong pair of headphones to check on my phone.
Well, you're also in here and on the laptop.
Yeah.
Alright, chat, you heard her. We have 1 stone, we have to take 2 more. We have a good idea where the first one's going to be, so... Now, before we run off out to the mountains, which again, there's be quite a couple of things we got to do out that direction. We got to go back first and talk with our friend Saria. We'll come back to that in a minute. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream so far. It's been maybe about an hour so far. Of course, happy you guys jumped in. Hopefully see you guys a little bit later on. If anything, you guys can watch the VOD later on, so have a good night. Enjoy your sleep, buddy. Deep into the forest.
I don't know why, but the forest is just so peaceful.
That depends on what timeline you go from. Certain...
This particular timeline is peaceful.
Yeah. I mean, as a
Lost
kid...
Woods, not so much.
Well, it depends on the context.
Again, the dang owl.
The Darkened King must always get advice. Sometimes even the good advice is not always the best. But then again, I mean, what is? Sometimes you need to have the good advice given to you even when you don't want it.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah, those of you that haven't played, you'll make a note of what he said as well, making use of your ears. The best part about this game, one of these, is the fact that, like, you can tell which route is the right one based on which direction you hear it. So you still hear the tambourine in the background, but until you go to the right direction, you actually hear the background music. Which is, again, one of the reasons I love this game is there's the dynamic change of audio, so you always know which direction is the right way.
That is freaky.
Well, I mean, think about it. Based on what's at the back of this, you'll understand why. Of course, before we get through, we have to do a couple of things. One, battle the demented wolf.
Yeah.
Back.
Whack the wolfie.
Could have this. Must always have ammo.
Especially if you're not gonna do the ammo upgrades.
Yep. Now this could go one of two ways, given the amount of corners I have to deal with.
The dang Deku shrub.
Yeah, again, I'm doing this with 3 hearts. Which leaves with a little more tactical asset here. Back up just a little bit. Also, those of you that have played Metal Gear Solid understand the overhead angle. It's very much the same kind of aspect of that over the head point of view.
Oh yes, more shrubs. Why is it always evil shrubbery?
I mean, to be fair, evil plants are probably easier to deal with.
Just why is it always evil shrubbery?
There are worse things to deal with.
I can't argue that one.
Especially, again, from those of you that have played this before will know that shrubbery is probably the easiest thing to deal with in the context of what we're coming up against. And sure, we'll have a little bit of a serenade. We gotta do a couple of things with music anyways before we get up the mountain.
Are we gonna go talk to the ribbit? The frogs?
Why would we do the frogs?
Because the frogs are fun!
Again, we do the frogs Chad, it'll make sense when we get there later.
I also just want to go visit the frogs.
You can blame her for convincing me.
You're gonna have a hard time doing anything but the 3 hearts with me over here.
I'm fully aware of that.
I'm not even one bit sorry.
Which is probably 9 times out of 10, you probably won't be on stream.
Yeah, probably not. I'll probably be encouraging you in the comments, though.
Yeah, exactly.
With my do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Listen, if there's not someone in the background of the chat egging you on to do something dangerous, I mean... Okay, well, let me rephrase. Something dangerous in-game. There's distinctly differences.
Now, with Baldur's Gate, I might be right here just encouraging you to go stabby someone.
There's always going to be good reasons for that, especially when, you know, the person you talk to betrays you later on.
Or, you know, pushing a certain someone into the water.
Don't go there. Those of you that have played Baldur's Gate will know exactly what she's referencing.
That is like one of my favorite things we can do in the game. We did it on our most recent run through. Mwah.
Oh, dang it, I did it again. See? I'm doing what I said I was going to do. You get in the habit of just speeding through the dialogue, and then you have to keep doing it on loop until it's done.
Hello. Boo. My eyes were playing tricks. I thought I saw a new name pop up.
Chad, someone would probably say she's a little bit sleep deprived.
Yeah, this last week has been stressful for reasons I don't want to get into.
We don't need to get into that on stream. We've all had stressful weeks, I'm sure. But as do everything, especially when it comes to these kinds of instances, things are always better on the other side.
Oh, yes.
But I also can't speak for anyone else other than myself and my wife. But my one advice is never give up. Sure, sometimes things get hard and harsh, but you always gotta look for that silver lining out there.
Or you could just go bake some bread and work out your aggression that way.
True.
I have done that before. It's always really good.
Those
and then you have freshly baked bread to eat after.
Those of you that understand stress baking and stress cooking know how cathartic that feels. Now, given the fact that we also have to get into Long Island Ranch, but only during the day, we could, you know, sit around and go to the next place, or we could have to deal with all of these skeletons, but I'll do it a different route. I am just going to tread water.
You're lucky this game doesn't have a stamina wheel.
Stamina wheel, among various other things. Be honest, chat and comments as well. What would this man be like? Because think of it this way. He does probably 1,000 different things all in the span of maybe a couple of weeks. He gets back and forth with multiple baddies. He has to go and be presentable. He has to do all various things, get involved in so many different outlets. Of course, water involves various hazards. Showering. Think about that for a minute.
Showering, I find, is much like sleeping when it comes to fantasy games. They don't show it because, you know, everyone eats, showers, sleeps.
Yeah, true. First off, we got one person we gotta talk to.
Oh yeah, no duh, he came out in a hurry.
What were you gonna say?
I had a brain fart, I couldn't think of the word duh. That's how bad my stress has been this week.
I didn't think we were that repellent. She takes one look at us and says, nope, I want nothing to do with you. Yeah, we are a bit intimidating at first glance. Alright, normally with this, I have to get real close for this to trigger. There we go. We will need this later on.
Unfortunately, we're not gonna go milk the cows.
Again, another randomizer joke. Again, those of you that want to see a randomizer run of this game will understand completely. We get to a certain follower count, I will happily replay this game again with a randomizer involved. You will understand all of the various references of both.
I don't think we even need a follower count. I think I could easily talk you into doing it.
We have a lot of stuff on the planned list anyways.
One of the things that's going to be harder for me to talk you into doing is Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah, that will be an end game plan. Now, granted, chat, she loves Dreamlight Valley just as much as I love like a lot of like other games. So
I'm the cozy gamer here.
Nothing wrong with being a cozy gamer. I mean, I'm certainly many of the comments and many of the chat can understand cozy gamers love all their cozy games. I mean, there's a reason people love playing, you know, Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. There's a lot of cozy games out there. All in good fun. Nothing wrong with cozy gaming. Now, who wants to play catching chickens? Or cuckoos?
Why are we catching cuckoos?
Remember the whole thing about the bottle?
I forget we hit the bottle here. We've played too many chaos runs with the randomizer.
Again, chat, we get to a certain follower count, I will happily do this again and play randomizer. Alright, what is it? 30 to 60 seconds, I think, to grab 3 cuckoos. Currently, at this rate, we have 2 attempts, so hopefully we get it on first try. But knowing my luck, that's never been the case.
And
Here we go! And we're off to the races. 1. Alright, we saw this one first. Next. Come here. Thank you. Nope. Yeah. Grab. Nope. Grab. That's 2. Alright, one thing I've done 1,000 times is I've gotten close to one of these and I've grabbed the door. Alright, I guess it was first attempt. But I will admit, honestly, 7 or 8 times out of 10, I've fumbled either going out the door and or missing grabbing the cuckoos 1,000 times over.
I hear wedding bells!
Oh man, so many.
Wrong woman, but I hear wedding bells.
Again. Yeah, we could do a wedding in, you know, like 20 some odd years. Let's be reasonable here, Talon.
No, I ship Link and Zelda all the way.
Yeah. Those of you that have played this game will understand that Link romances upwards of 5 or 6 different people?
Without trying.
Again, no penalties to him. Apparently everyone wants him. I don't understand it.
Link and Mario are the Nintendo,
Do not say it. You know, Those of you that know
No.
what it is will
What's the
understand
right
what it.
word?
Be very careful with your next words.
I know the word you're thinking of, and that's not what I was going for. My brain. It has had a fart. The word is gone.
Those of you that know what she's talking about will understand the innuendo she's talking about. Not even an innuendo.
Ladies'
just
man, that's where I was going.
There you go. I'm glad you went with that one.
That's what I was going for the entire time. My brain just had a fart.
1,000 ways to climb a ladder or a mountain, you name it. Alright, now that we've done some prep work, we have things to do.
Things to do, places to see, a wedding, my wife to kill, a country to frame. I'm booked.
Those of you who know the Princess Bride movie will understand her reference as well. Expect it to be commonplace with her on-camera chat. You will hear references and references between movies, media, literature, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, when you tuned into this game, one, you wanted to see this challenge become complete, but two, expect a podcast at the same time.
Especially when half of the people on the channel have a background in English, because that's what I got my degree in. Just all of the literature right up here.
Now, I'm sure many of you are probably confused in the context of this is your first time watching this game, why I am picking up all the Kukos. Part of one of these games, or part of one of the ways I can get an extra bottle. Again, bottles will be my best friend if I'm not getting all of the heart containers or all the heart pieces.
You're gonna need potions galore.
Well, potions are negligible. Again, 3 hearts are only going to be so much. I'd be better off getting a thing of milk, because it gets 5 hearts versus the 3.
Also fair, but potions and lotions galore.
Never again will you do that.
I may have done it mainly just to see your reaction for the first one.
Well, there you go.
You gave a very lackluster response, so I don't think I'm doing it again.
I'm not expecting you to. There's a reasoning for it. Alright. If I got my math correctly, I think we have 4 or 5 left, or that we've picked up. Oh, I want to say there's 7 or 8.
Why is there always one in a crate?
See, I don't understand that. One,
How did he even get the crate?
I think it's also the same question of how is he still alive if he's been in that box?
That was way more morbid than I wanted to go tonight, thank you. This poor little Kuko, man.
I will leave it at that. There's no point in making the joke worse than it is.
I have no comeback for that.
Somebody will clip it. That much I'm positive. Alright, let's pick up the next one.
I forget how much they start clucking at you. When you just chuck them like that.
Well, again, they're Kukos. And those that know will understand the warning when every time we've seen these things come into play, and every reference in every Zelda game knows this idea. Do not whack the Kukos. Those of you know the reason why will understand the horror of hearing it wail and scream at you, only to then have a entire gaggle and horde of them come flying at you from off screen.
I don't think you've ever done that in-game for me. I think when I asked you what happened, I think you just pulled it up on YouTube for me.
I think I meant that specifically because I knew for myself that I didn't want to be the one to cause it. That much I do understand.
Part of me now has an urge to
You
go
will
get
not
to,
get that.
Kakariko Village in Breath of the Wild and just whack at a Kuko.
Someone in chat warn her about how bad of an idea that is.
I haven't picked up Breath in the Wild in like 2 years. It'd take me a hot minute to get there, and by that point, I'd be long past the idea.
Again, someone in chat, make a warning for that. Those that know the horrors of this game will understand. Now, like I said earlier, we have a couple things we have to do before we go up the mountain. One is we're going to get an essential piece of the puzzle. But first, and I hate to be the one to say this, we got to do a bit of a grave robbing. Now, in this context, we are not grave robbing in the sense of stealing. We are grave robbing in the sense of learning something that has been passed down for us to know why. The fact that he's still breathing is still very impressive.
I say this every time. How does our guy survive this adventure? Excuse
That's
my
also
sudden southern drawl there. It comes out.
That's also another
tired.
question, guys, as well. We had a whole conversation earlier about rogue versus fighter. The man has to have the tough feet of some kind.
I'd argue he doesn't just have tough. He has tough, tougher, and toughest.
Yeah, the man's got to have some kind of resilience. That or some kind of resilience-based feat. The man's lived through how many iterations of saving the world?
I don't know, but he's got like bones of steel or something for the way you throw him off a cliff.
Yeah, again, man could fall from a 1,000-foot fall.
Doesn't
Only a
even break his
scratch.
ankles.
Granted, it hurts, but he survives the fall. All the good poems.
At least they kept the melodies pretty simple.
The changing of day to night.
And night to day.
Alright, we have the new song. We can move out of here. Restless souls wander where they don't belong. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is kind of true. But then again, I also don't want to get involved in anything involving ghosts in real life.
One's gotta wonder how long we've been just sitting in that water to make it so stanky.
I'm not going to answer that statement. I know for my own sanity, I know better not to add on to that mixture. Now, I gotta remember. One of these... I don't remember which one has it. I think it's this one. Nope. Also, before I forget, we've been going at this for a while.
Maybe do a save Z.
You know, we've been going for a little over an hour and a half, almost. It's not like it's the worst idea ever. Yes, we are a grave robber. Ow!
What do you do? Whack you with the lantern?
Lamp! One of these opens up. This one. I believe it's this one. Only one way to know.
With this Yahoo.
I'm pretty sure this one is the right one.
Yeah, just make Link face the terrors of the undead. Wonderful.
Well, for one, I will forgive this man. Perhaps he's got resilient courage. Very resilient courage, mind you.
He's got more bravery than I'd got in that situation.
Just gonna go ahead, not do that.
What was that about no heart pieces?
Yeah, I messed it up already. I curse my brain sometimes.
You do really like to go 100% stuff.
But again, my brain also does not remember what items are where.
Yeah, that's valid. Oh well.
We'll take the long road back.
The
Walk it off.
long road back.
Like I said, I pick up heart pieces, I restart. I die in any case of this, the entire run is scrapped. Chat, there was a distinct reason of why I saved before I picked up that chest. There is a reason why this challenge is a little bit harder than everyone thinks it is. Granted, there are probably many people out there that have probably done this blindfolded, which again, I give props to them. I couldn't do it. I may have played this game well over a dozen times, but I know for a fact I do not have the appropriate gusto to play any game, even one that I've beaten a lot. I don't even trust my own instincts to play this whole game blindfolded.
I use Google if I get stuck.
I mean, first time through, you're going to want to get everything. Or
I don't even care about 100%ing. I just don't like puzzles.
Puzzles in these games can be difficult.
I think the majority of the shrines in Breath of the Wild that I did do, I looked up how to solve them.
Those of you that have played Breath of the Wild will understand that one as well. There are so many shrines that either you gotta be real good with getting photos or images or whatever the case is to understand what's underneath. Or sometimes you will just go to a shrine that just says, that makes either the puzzle increasingly hard or is just frustrating in every way, shape, or form.
And I only got up to the end of the water blight fight. I have not finished the game. At this point, I don't think I have intentions to.
And even then, there's also same cases as well that there are people out there, and again, I applaud their tenacity, that have beaten the game with 3 hearts and a little bit bigger than their stamina bar normally is, and they've fought not just Ganon himself, or the endgame boss in this context, those that want to avoid spoilers, but you also have to face every Divine Beast boss in a row on the way up.
That is if you don't go seek them out, right?
Mm-hmm. Just because normally if you beat the game, or you beat each of the various bosses, you will see what is it, like multiple Lizalfos, Lionels, and who knows what else on the way up. But if you haven't, and then you'll be facing all the various blights. Hope you're well prepared and know the patterns. Excuse me, sir, I have a letter to save the world.
Yeah, I beat Water Blight Ganon with 5 hearts. Still don't know how I did it, because that was my very first game on my Switch.
Weren't you also shaking when you were fighting him?
Yeah, I shrieked in my brother's ears.
She was on call with her brother when she was doing the same game. Well, not this one, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I think he was playing too.
Hmm.
Because at that point, you had a Switch, I had a Switch, my brother had a Switch.
And I think we decided I was going to reset my game and we were going to do it together.
We did that. Right.
And then you stopped.
Yeah. You did finally do an actual playthrough with me.
Only so you
Before
could.
we did Tears.
Only so you could see the entirety of the game.
Yeah, so now we have 2 copies of Breath of the Wild. And I'm just like, you didn't need a second one. You could have just borrowed mine when we got married.
Well, think of it this way, chat. I didn't know I was going to marry her when we first had this idea.
That's also valid.
We were only, what, 2 or 3 years into our dating prowess, I think, at this rate?
I got my Switch just before we started a year. Or just before we started our second year. Yeah, just before we started our second year. But by the time Tears came out, you'd proposed to me.
Not to mention, chat, she also decided she was going to sneakily talk to my mother into giving me Tears as a birthday gift. And I chose...
I would have gotten it for you had I not been moving that week.
True.
And also had just paid for my wedding dress.
Those are expensive. Those that have paid for those right off the bat, people understand how expensive those are.
I got mine on sale, and it was still just about $2,000 with alterations and shoes and veil and everything. Alterations and the dress itself took up the majority of that money, though. We have found our adorable little Gorons.
And for the first time in probably a while since we've heard this theme song, it will stay appropriately placed.
This one always seems to get placed in a bad spot when we play the randomizer.
The soft drums and the echoes throughout the chambers. Those of you that have played this game know why this theme is so memorable. But then again, I feel like a lot of the themes in this game are very memorable.
Well, the memories I associate with the boss songs the most are not playing this game with you. They're playing the D&D campaign.
Yeah, we've done this a couple of times.
So...
Hello, Mr. Angry Goron.
Me smash rock.
Well, hey, we're just a messenger. Survey says...
Excuse me, you absolutely need help.
Survey says, let's play a bouncy tune to make things a little less frustrating on him. What's the phrase that a lot of people would say? Dance like no one is watching and nobody cares. Now, hopefully, in a better mood. One could only hope.
There is something about just flailing your arms wildly that helps.
Doesn't it always, sometimes?
We're going, ooh, banana, while playing Bowser's Big Blast.
Those of you that want to see that playthrough will also see that as well. We will happily... Again, I also probably need to get a capture card for that to get set on my Switch, but it could be done. Do a 30-plus turn game on both the newer ones, or maybe a extended long playthrough of one of the older games. Hopefully everyone understands that with this stream we banter a lot.
Ah yes, the bomb flower. A humble crop. Watch it make the rock go boom.
Can you imagine what someone like that would probably say if they picked up a flower that's bright, colorful, and then you pick it up and you just
The phrase that went through my head is not family friendly.
Nope. No.
The word I am searching for cannot be used
Do
because
not.
there are preschool kids around. Or preschool toys? What's the quote?
Don't even. Just don't.
I do not know Toy Story that well.
Moral of the story, Chad. If you picked up something like this and said, "Oh, it's colorful," and then it begins to glow.
Personally, I would probably shriek.
Lava pits.
Yeah, just throw the little boy into a cavern with lava. What could go wrong? And like, I'd argue lava isn't even the worst of what he has to face in here. It's the stinking beamos.
Laser beams.
They're not even popping popcorn with them laser beams.
Those of you that understand that, or understand the instance of popping popcorn with like a...
We're popping popcorn with lasers. I cannot do the voice right.
Those of you in chat and the comments will understand what reference she's making like that. That or just the fun thing that it was to do of using a magnifying glass. Eating a piece of popcorn up that way. Alright, our first mini-boss fight with some Lizalfos. Relatively easy. Again, relatively. It also depends on proficiency in both dodging and just... They tend to jump, like, repeatedly, so be prepared to do multiple styles of dodging or anything in between.
One down.
Now we approach the one. How about you, vile fiends?
I don't know what's worse, these guys or the meeps in Wind Waker. Both greed on my eardrums.
The Diden? Yeah. Not Don Didon. That's an anime. That's definitely not appropriate for this context.
You're supposed to eat the bomb.
Or not. Eat. Nope. Normally this works. Normally. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna fight it legitimately. That's not what I was expecting to happen, but...
Task failed successfully.
Okay. Chad, I will leave it at that. Because normally there's a way that you can actually get him specifically to eat said bomb. There we go. One more down here on the end.
Yes, all the rupees.
That I have no intentions of using.
No, just gather them like Scrooge McDuck.
Listen, a billionaire will be a billionaire.
Go swimming in your sea of rupees.
Not gonna go there. I have no rights and no dictation on that comment.
Stinking Beemo!
Alright, just a little less than 2 hours in. We should be on pace. Hopefully to finish at least this dungeon specifically before the end of the stream.
Maybe
Hopefully.
you should do another savesy.
Probably a good idea, given the fact of where we are now. And last time, you know, that happened, I ended up picking up an item I didn't need to pick up. Granted, it was a good thing it was 1 versus what could have been 3 getting into another one. It's just like, alright, gonna have to restart again.
Yeah. I'm gonna go check on the laundry.
Place that there.
Talked about anything? No.
While she's out, Chad, I'm also going to make the point to clarify it at the same time when we have a little bit of downtime between important key phrasing. I am doing this specifically as a hobby. I do not expect to get, you know, endless amounts of subs or 1,000, maybe even 1,000,000 plus people on YouTube. I'm purely just doing this for the fun of it, playing old modern games for challenges, hopefully making somebody else's day a little bit better. And if I benefit from it after the fact, good. But if the benefit I get from the day-to-day workflow of doing this is I make someone's day a little better, make somebody laugh in chat, the comments, whatever the case is. The idea of this whole thing is just to take my hobby and allow someone else's day to be a little bit better. And if that's what I end up doing by the end of the day, I've done my job. I like making someone else's day a little bit better. And if this is the way to do it, this is the way to do it. Especially in today's world, maybe a little bit of light here and there could also be nice. Alright, moving right here along. Fire Keys. The enemy of all. Wooden shields. That is not what I wanted to do. Stay behind the one. There we go. Alright, that could have been worse. Could have been much worse. Alright, we have the first instance of traps. Well, we've had traps in other places, but... Ow. Eee. Move past. Again, the urge to just pick up all of these chests. But I have to resist, because I know what some of those could be, what some of those are not. Because the rule mandates no shops, minimal chest. I think it's just a matter of knowing what chest holds what item. But again, those of you that understand the loot goblin prowess will understand that someone who's played these games 1,000 times, or at least more than a dozen, will understand that when you see a chest in any loot style game, just open it, for everything could be inside. Anything and everything. Alright, round 2 with the Lizalfos. Same things before, same kind of tactics, nothing out of the ordinary, let alone anything different. But still always nerve-wracking, especially when you have a minimal amount of health. Yeah, make a note of this, that while the first couple of dungeons are always somewhat easier with less, it's when we get to the later ones we get to the probably back half of this game that's going to ratchet up the difficulty a little bit more. But we got it. Got it working just fine. I think as well I'll make a note for this chat as well. I will need to make a setting change on my overlay specifically to remove chat once it's been the message has been sent. And probably fix the backdrop text so you can actually, see it. Because the subtle gray against some of these backgrounds is not helping. The color text is good, but if you can't read the text on the backdrop, it's going to make it a little bit harder. But we have our first instance of explosives. How is it I've also gone this far and I haven't picked up Deku nuts? Probably because I've been hitting everything involving that gives me a stick instead. Someone gonna move into the bedroom then?
Yeah.
Chat, my wife will be still in the stream, but she's gonna change scenes. So, hope you enjoyed the couple hours she was on camera. She'll still be in the chat, just she'll be watching from a different perspective. Alright, we move on. I know that trick. Nope, not going this way. Again, the urge to pick everything up. I've had one fumble so far, and I intend to keep it that way. Ow. Of course I get set on fire. We need the milk. Very nice. I should not have drank that. I could have used it. Well, instead, I'll do this. These will be our lifeline going into this. Hello! She's still here. Given history mandates, always good to have a shortcut. One thing I do wish in this context is that there was a second place to pick up a fairy. But one can be useful in all things considered. Again, besides... One does not need to be in chat all the time. One just needs to be present. But then again, given the context, we've all probably had days like that where we're just physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. Yeah, chat, I'm going to make a point to fix that update before the next stream. I'm going to fix that elements push. So that when the chat is on the overlay, one, that it fades once it's been used, and two, I'm going to get the coloration to match. This is just bombs. I remember this. Alrighty. We go into boss 2. Probably one of my favorite themes of the bosses of these games. This gave me chills the first time I heard it. Charge it up. Alright, and the boss is over. Again, when you know the strategies, a lot of the early game bosses are not as difficult, but they do look really cool though. Alrighty, we move on. Still don't understand sometimes how that happens. They just come out of nowhere. So many Dodongos. You might have been one of those as a pet. It'd be so dangerous. I mean, again, people out there, and you know, I don't know enough about the world to know where that happens, but I've heard some people have crocodiles and alligators as pets. Or, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I did. I threw myself into this because, one, you know, hero. Two, I have something I want. Sworn brothers. Please, no ceremony. Simplicity, please. Alrighty. 2. We have 2 spiritual stones. Alright, chat. I don't think we're going to be able to finish that next area in probably an hour, but we at least can get a good close and get a good chance of it. So we might end a little bit early today. Because for one, I do like to end on a good note, and for one, I don't think ending the stream in the midst of it would be a good mix of things. So I think now we'll probably do an early stream. We'll probably call it there. But before we do, gotta get something important at the top of this mountain. And those of you that have played the game know how difficult this could be. Especially if you don't have the shield, let alone at so many hearts. Imagine doing this without the shield. This would be a little bit more difficult. I gotta stop getting greedy. Alright. Let's just send this. And no, I do not mean Ascend Song. That is a good song out there, those that have heard it. Again, like I said, I'm not doing this to be the best at this game. There are many other speeders out there who deserve the crown better than I do. But I'm just doing this to play classic games, something that kind of a bit nostalgic for me. Something fun, and something a little fresh change of pace. Yeah, I think we'll pick up this. We'll save, and we'll call it a night a little bit early tonight. But this is an essential power. We're gonna need this for later anyways. That was fast. You ordered that today. Just looked at chat. Those that don't know, skirt, athletic skirt, I think is the term, or skirt with shorts. Again, I don't know a whole buttload I don't know full details on that. But anyways, Fairy of Power. Thank you. Again, I'm not very familiar with these terms. Actually, chat, I'll let you decide. We could go another hour, we could try to beat the next dungeon before the end of the time, or we could call it here, do a little bit of a shorter stream tonight, just in preparation, get myself all wrapped into it, and we save the final dungeon, at least of the main three that we have to take care of before we go back to Zelda, and save that for the starting block of what's going to be the next chapter. So, what do you guys think? Spin attack! We finally have a good weapon. Well, we have a good weapon, we have a better weapon. An effective technique. Yeah, make a note of that, chat. There's another great fairy that lives outside of Hyrule Castle. So someone called it out before I forget. No, that's a fair point. This music and this ambiance can put a lot of people to sleep. So I think for now we'll probably just pack this up and we'll save the rest of it for another time. But let me do the smart thing, given I've lost probably 2 or 3 hours of content because I've forgotten to save, I've not done it right, or it's gotten corrupted, whatever the case may be. So be extra careful I'm going to do that. But for now, yeah, always give it a triple save. Let me do this. So for one, let me get back on camera here for a minute. I do appreciate you guys coming in and enjoying probably my first stream of hopefully a lot, because for one, I do want to make this as part of my New Year's resolution to try and stream twice a week. Again, I'm not expecting to be the perfect gamer or the perfect streamer for one. I'm just doing it to have fun. If it makes the day better for you guys, I've done my job right. So until then, the Darkened King enjoyed your presence, enjoyed your time that you spent with me, but the void calls, and I must return. So until then, always look for the silver lining, even if it is in the deep voice of space. And until then, have a great night, guys. Enjoy your evening.